access your Autodesk Forma through your Autodesk account under products and services. I'm going to click on Autodesk Forma and click on access. For the purpose of this demonstration, I am not going to go into detail as to how you use Forma. Please take note that there are other webinars that we have done in the past, specializing in certain areas, aspects, wind analysis. We had a look at sun analysis in a summary version previously. We also had a look at area metrics, and there are other webinars done previously on how to use massing and how to create your own building mass in Forma to run your different types of analysis. We had a look at parking, trees, and all the different functions that Forma has to offer. Today, which is endless. As you can see on the screen here, there's a demonstration going on there in the background of just what kind of massing capabilities Forma has to offer. Look at how that balcony is being rounded. You can see architecturally, you can quickly through massing create just basic shape of what you had in mind for your design, change the design as you go on, and then rerun an analysis to check. You can also have more than one design option and run analysis and then compare the analysis to each other. But nevertheless, please visit our website for previous webinars done and for future webinars coming on Autodesk Forma. But for this demonstration, we are only going to have a quick look at where to access your sun analysis and what to look out for when you run your sun hour analysis. This is now based on the fact that I've already set up a project in Forma to do this demonstration. So I'm just going to click on continue here. Now it's going to take me to the hub. I'm going to select the hub that's been set up before this demonstration. Access my hub. And if you were starting a project from scratch, you would click over here on new project, where you would then go through all the steps of creating a project. I've already set up this project, so I'm just going to click on the one that's already been set up for the sun hour analysis. So this project has already been set up. I've got my existing content that I did not have to model. This came directly from Google Earth. Forma has the capability to generate a built environment from maps. My site is situated in Cape Town. As an example, this is an open site where I have done a rough mass just to use an example for the demonstration of sun hour analysis. But as you can see here, existing buildings in Cape Town city centre has already been generated for me here. And as I've mentioned previously, please have a look at our previous webinars on how to use Forma. So we're going to jump straight into how to run a sun hour analysis. We looked earlier at the different types of sun hour analysis. We had daily sun hour analysis, monthly, seasonal, and so on. So we're just going to have a look at what functions are available when you do run a sun hour analysis. So I'm going to click here on the right hand side of the panel. I'm going to click on sun hour analysis, as you can see over there. So let's have a look what Forma says in their tooltip regarding the sun hour analysis. Our detailed sun hour analysis calculates how many sun hours of daylight your site will get on a specific date. Choose the areas and dates you want to analyze. So we're going to have a look at the analysis dates and how you would do a daily analysis. So I'm going to remove this one, and from the calendar I can select which month I want. So I'm going to say January the 31st. And that is basically how I would do a sun analysis then for a specific day. And I will run the analysis then accordingly by clicking on Run Analysis. Then if you're having a look at a analysis for a season, for example, if you want to run an entire sun analysis for winter, Cape Town is in the southern hemisphere where this example project is done. So winter is more or less between May and August, in theory. So I'm just going to click here and I'm going to add a date. So I can click on, say, the 1st of May, and I'm going to say I want to run it until the 1st of August. And then I can run my sun analysis based on the selection year. This will give me more or less the sun analysis then for winter. So that is your seasonal. Now let's have a look at monthly analysis. You would then basically just say from the 1st of May until the 31st of May if you want to do an analysis for the month. So you can add analysis dates here if you want to be more specific. So I'm just going to minimize these or remove them and do an analysis here for the 1st of May. So I'm just going to turn around here. Here is the example project we're going to do. So I'm going to run an analysis for, this is west facing, for the 1st of May in Cape Town, which is more or less in the beginning of winter. Let's have a look. So the analysis is now running. I have only selected for one day for a daily sun hour analysis for the 1st of May, which is in winter. So now the analysis has been completed. You can see here at the top, it says sun hour analysis now completed. See analysis results. Let's have a look. So as we discussed previously on our webinar, here it gives you a graph showing 1 hour as purple and then brighter, brighter, brighter yellow until you get to like a full sun day. This is west facing, so this will receive a lot of sun. But as you can see, when I turn the model around, then it's a completely different story. Then we can see in winter, my proposed building over here is going to be pretty dark. So if you are sitting on this side of the building on the 1st of May, then you're most likely going to have your artificial lighting on for the entire day. So if you are sitting in one of these offices over here, just above this lower section, you can see there that you'll probably get some morning sun because this is east facing, but as soon as the sun starts going its course throughout the day, then these edges will become darker, and of course here in the courtyard you can see the sun hours is probably just a 1 or 2 hours in the morning. So this is a live update. As I'm scrolling around here, if I had to change anything and run the analysis, then it will update accordingly. So if I had to take a few floors down or bring this down or bring that up, then I can just go and rerun the analysis. Now let's have a look. I'm actually looking from the top now, and I can see now the sun hours on the roof. Not that I'm interested particularly in that, but just to show you the options that there are. So let's have a look. I'm going to turn the model like this. I'm going to have a look at this tool. It's an inspect tool. So I'm going to click on the inspect tool and I can click there and it will say, okay, if I click over here on this purple area, I can see that I'm going to be getting more or less 1.6 hours of sunlight, and over here 7.5, and behind this wall I'm most likely going to get 0. It's even shaded from the morning sun. So that's your shady spot. If I look at this elevation, which is going to be south facing, doesn't even get morning sun on this winter's day. So that is also 0 hours. But if I look at my facade here, wherever I click, I can see this building is casting a little bit of a shadow here, probably late afternoon. So it's not 7.5 hours for this section over here. That is now 6.7 hours. And you can go with your inspect tool around your building and click wherever it is. You need to see more or less how many sun hours are going to be available. Another nice function with sun hour analysis is the compare function. So I'm just going to click here on compare. Now I'm going to look at another project. Or at least another analysis where I can compare the one to the other. So now I'm going to go and select this one. And as you can see, the design is two different designs, and it is now showing me the differences between the two. So I can compare the one to the other. And when this analysis was done, I did not have the extended section over here on top of the building. So you can see also the date is different. My date over here for the building we have just done is on the 1st of May for the day. Over here, I've also done a day analysis, but this is done for the 21st of June. So the scenario is slightly different. That's later on in winter. And as you can see here also, in this previous or earlier version of this particular design, there was no additional floors at the top there, so it also influences what the sun hour analysis will do. And you can have a look here at the bottom. These trees I've actually placed here, and you can see that that is also having an impact on the sun. It has a very positive impact on wind analysis when you do that, as it shades the building. And it has a minor effect on the building also when it comes to sun hour analysis, especially in this case when we've got a high-rise building with a few trees for show in the front. But if you have a two-story building, for example, with a 6-meter high tree or 5.5-meter tree in front of the building, then that's another story. Then it will actually have a huge impact on the analysis. I'm going to go out of the compare function, and I'm just going to close this earlier version of this particular design. Now we've closed the compare function, and you can see here under facades, roof and other, and at the bottom here there are some tools that affect how you can view your analysis. For example, I can switch off here. I don't want to see areas that only has 3 hours or less sun hours, and then I can just drag that. You can see it's updated in the model, and then of course also the other way around. You can also do analysis for specific time of the day. Let's have a look. So far we've had a look at seasons, a few months, a particular month, and also a single day. And then if you go to settings here on the 1st of May, I can set the time here. For example, I want it to be at 8 o'clock in the morning, and as you can see there, it's updating it in the model. So now it's showing me, okay, on this side of the building, which is west facing, between 8 and 10 in the morning, this is kind of the scenario that you have because the sun is coming from the east. Let's spin around and look at this, and we can see, okay, this side of the building, some morning sun is hitting these buildings. You can see the areas in purple, pinky color over here. And if I change that day to later in the afternoon, say at 3 o'clock, and I just drag my time interval to from this side to 2 o'clock, now I can say, okay, on the 1st of May, during that time, I can see, okay, now the sun's going to be on the other side of the building on the west, going down on that side. And here I can see I've got very little sun left. And if I go to that side, I can see, okay, it's because it's winter, the sun goes down quite early. And here I've got my results. There's about an hour's worth or something like that. Let's have a look. We can do our inspect tool and just check over there. We can say, okay, yes, there's about an hour's sun left over there. So there's some very nice functions one can have a look at. You can say you only want to show roofs, you only want to show facades. So there are all these functions to have a look at, and at the bottom here, how you would view the graphics, whether you want to see the map on, and so on. Sun hour analysis is very flexible in how one can go about having a look at sun hour analysis and all the options you have to your disposal in Forma, which can really add a lot of value to a project.